In Skyrim, there are technically 17 Jarls. There are only 9 holds, but depending on what side wins the war in the player's playthrough, the Jarls of 8 of the holds will be replaced. Some Jarls are better than others. Some are arrogant, having been born into their lofty positions. Others are more down to earth and pragmatic, and there are some that are just racist idiots. In this video, I'm going to go through the top 5 best Jarls in Skyrim. At number 5, we have Jarl March's leader, Idgrod Ravencrone. Idgrod is unique as a Jarl because she's a mystic. Although she doesn't really seem to listen to her own people, the visions she gets from the divines guide her to the right decisions. For instance, everyone in the town distrusts the new resident wizard Phalion. He's a mysterious figure, but the fact that he helps the player if they're a vampire indicates to me that he's probably a good person. It's probably the case that given Morthal's proximity to a massive vampire lair, Phalion is there to somehow try and protect the town from it. But in reality, who knows? Ultimately, Idgrod's a unique figure, although she is admittedly not liked by her own subjects very much. I think for her uniqueness, she at least deserves the 5th spot. Maven Blackbriar might come as a surprise on this list. She's undoubtedly a self-serving criminal, but despite that, she's assertive, decisive and shrewd. She's basically controlled the city of Riften before she was Jarl anyway. Becoming Jarl would be a nominal change more than anything. Maven has an awful personality, but as a leader, she's arguably quite good. Although ruled by self-interest, she's not an idiot. She's successful because she has people on her side and she rewards those who side with her. I doubt that she'd be too oppressive a Jarl because of this. So on the basis that she's probably the smartest of the Jarls, I'd call her one of the better ones, even if she's interested predominantly in herself. A lesser known Jarl comes in at number 3. Kroldar is the Jarl of Winterhold if the city is taken by the Imperial Legion. Unlike his predecessor, Kroldar isn't naive. He supports the College of Winterhold and sees the benefits of working with the institution rather than demonizing it. Many in Winterhold blame the Great Collapse on the college, but there is no definitive evidence to suggest that it was the college's fault. I made a whole video on that conspiracy, so check that out for more. But the basic point is that Kroldar is more pragmatic. He disregards the past and sees the merit of doing what's best for Winterhold in the present day. The dilapidated city could be helped a lot by the college. Tourism, academic visits, conferences could all help the economy. Plus it's generally smart to be on good terms with a bunch of highly skilled, powerful mages on your doorstep. At the penultimate spot, we have Dengir of Stoon, who isn't actually Jarl initially in the game. He only becomes the Jarl of Falkreath if the Stormcloaks win in the hold. You might question my positioning of Dengir at the second to top spot, because he does seem a bit mental. When you speak to him when he's not Jarl, he'll be convinced that there are imperial plots all over the town. He'll even ask you to steal a letter off the blacksmith, because he thinks that it's a letter to General Tullius. He offers no reasoning for this, he just assumes that everyone writing letters is an informant. If you steal the letter and actually look at it, it's just the blacksmith asking one of his friends to mine some more ore. It's nothing sinister. But despite this, Dengir is a good Jarl in a moral way. His nephew, Sidgir, was the person who replaced him as Jarl, and he's a complete arse. And Dengir isn't afraid to acknowledge this. If you ask him why he would make a better Jarl than his nephew, he says, "For one thing, I won't empty Falkreath's coffers to buy myself fine clothes and expensive mead. For another, I won't get mixed up with criminals and other sorts who take advantage of the honest folk. I might be old, but I haven't forgotten that a Jarl's first duty is to look after his people." It seems like, in contrast to Sidgir, who is a complete prat, he is a much more principled Jarl who actually cares about his people, perhaps too much, seeing his fantasizing about all the imperial plots in the town. Finally, we have the one and only Jarl Balgruuf. From always putting Whiterun's interests first to arguing with Ulfric Stormcloak, it's clear to see that on a moral level, Balgruuf's a great Jarl, much like Dengir. Moreover, although he might be a questionable father because he lets his emo son do his own thing in the basement, his epicness makes him ultimately the most interesting Jarl. More interested in dragons and the Civil War, he's the only leader to have commissioned his mage into looking into the dragon threat, which is surprising. You'd think that every Jarl would be doing something similar, that they would be bothered about the dragons. Moreover, he still worships Talos, and if you ask him, he's more than willing to create a distraction at the Thalmor embassy party. Also, according to the official game guide, Balgruuf is viewed by many as the embodiment of a true Nord, and his allegiance to the Empire actually convinced many would-be Stormcloaks that the Empire may actually be the answer to Skyrim's problems. So, an influential, moral and principled figure, I think Balgruuf takes the top spot. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please let me know which Jarl you think is best. I know that it's quite hard to judge between the Jarls because, to be frank, a lot of them are quite bland, but I think I've chosen the 5 most interesting and compelling Jarls, but of course you might disagree, so please do let me know. Anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.